Yeah, good morning everyone and welcome to the third and final hour of the Saturday morning show with me, Colin Torley, and I've got my guest sitting next to me. He is Stephen McCafferty.
Hi Colin.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
You're looking well, by the way.
Thank
I like
you.
that shirt, by the way.
Yeah, I do have a few of these shirts.
Yeah.
It's summertime, so I have to get them out.
For those of you who can't see us, which is everybody.
I am filming this right now,
filming
so
this,
it'll be going onto YouTube, so
Yeah,
you can find this shirt eventually.
It's a very flowery shirt.
Yeah, rose.
As you say, it's a summer shirt.
It's a summer shirt. Yeah, I only took these. I was playing Belgium recently, and I only took my summery shirt. So I've got about, I think, 6 of these. I didn't get to wear them all, unfortunately.
Right,
Just my favourites.
Okay, well you've got your flowery shirt on. I've got my shorts on, because it's going to be a good day today.
It's supposed to be a good weekend, yeah.
Yeah, so there we go. Right, Stephen, you came in here, I think it was about October time. You just released your new album.
Yeah, my debut.
Your debut album, yeah, and which was fantastic.
Thank you.
But since then, you've actually released a couple of new tracks as well, and we're going to do the new track. Now, I've been playing your new single for about the last 3-4 weeks now.
Oh, thank you.
Brilliant.
No, I appreciate that.
I've said that to you already.
Yeah.
And this is why I needed to get you back in, because you're playing a lot more live gigs now, aren't you? A lot more than when I spoke to you last year.
Yeah, I think a lot of the things that I was doing last year was applying for things like applications for festivals and various competitions. And
So how does that work? I mean, you have to apply to do...
you don't have to apply for gigs, but a lot of the gigs I've had this year have been things that I applied for. So I played Scotland Trending, which was part of Perth Festival of Arts. I played that at the beginning of the year.
And is that all new acts then? Or?
Yeah, so they've been going since about 2019, and basically they pick 6 artists that they think are doing well, and they showcase them. So previous acts that they've had are people like the Snuts, and I think the very first one had something to do with Lewis Capaldi. I don't know if he was being showcased or if he was just part of, because I think their festival was a bit bigger, because this was pre-COVID. So basically they highlight who they think are artists that are worth paying attention to. So I applied for that last year, got that. I applied for the Solace Festival, I got that. What else have I done? And Belladrum and stuff.
Did you have to apply for Belladrum then?
No, that came. I got a contact through Rory Campbell.
Right.
We've become good pals over the last few years, and we've been sharing contacts.
See, when you apply for that then, do you send them links to live gigs, videos, YouTube?
Typically you're sending your bio, photographs, links to your songs, and also videos of you playing live, and then they judge from that. And there's a lot of competitions that I get close to as well, so it's like you get emails back and you say, you've got through to the next round, you got through to the next round. Yeah. It's been a surprise to me, but filling out applications, because of how much success I've had doing that, it's such an exciting time filling out applications, because it's pure potential. You're like, oh, maybe I'll get this, maybe I'll get that. So ordinarily I hate filling out applications, but with this it's quite exciting, because you never know.
But you're getting good at it then, because you're obviously getting to a few more.
Yeah, well, I kind of save, because applications follow a similar format, I do have Word documents that I've saved that I can rejig for templates. So it is kind of all ready to go. I have to obviously change bits here and there to tailor it towards whatever they're after, but I've applied for so many now, so it's like I know the script.
Oh, in Scotland, or are you going further afield?
Yeah, I mean, further afield, no further than the rest of the UK. Like one of the things that I applied for last year was Camper Colin, which is down near Birmingham, and I got that, and I got to play the Freshly Squeezed stage, which was a really cool experience. It's quite a family-friendly festival, but they still had a good draw, because Razorlight were headlining. Okay. Incidentally, Belladrum just there, Razorlight headlined as well. So I've shared 2 festivals with Razorlight, which I'm happy to say.
Right, that's good. That's good. Okay. We're going to do your new single. Before that, do you want to give us a brief description of who Stephen McCafferty is then?
Oh God, I don't know if I can answer that in a short space in time. But in terms of music, I mean, the song you're about to play, Never Up, which is a really jingle jangle happy sound, but the lyrics are a bit more. They deal with harder stuff. And I think those 2 things are probably expressions of my mum and dad, because my mum was very much into her 80s pop music.
Yeah.
My dad always encouraged me to reflect. So he introduced me to people like Bob Dylan, who sing and reflect back the culture that they're part of.
Okay.
So I would probably say that my music, in terms of songs like that, are a reflection of both influences from my parents. Okay. I would say.
I've got you've got a new promotion company, and they've actually said, this is, I don't know if this is right or not, but I'm going to read it. It says, the song Never Up circles around the gap between those who shape the narrative and those expected to live inside it.
Sounds good to me.
It does actually. Is that you who wrote that? No?
Aye, was I.
It was.
Aye. No, but it's like, so there's a line in the song that says, expectations worn like a dog leash. I would say that that's probably the centrepiece of the song, because, I mean, I work as a support worker for homeless men, so I see, and it's not just exclusive to that, because you do see, I think we're all conditioned culturally to an extent, where we recognise the station that we're in and we don't go above. I think maybe it's a British thing as well. We're a very class-orientated culture. So I see that firsthand in my job. People thinking things as basic as having keys to your own home as being posh. Yeah. Men in their 50s thinking that. Yeah. And that's how, what's happened in your life that you've reached a point where you think having a key to your own house is posh.
But to some people, if they've never had it before.
So that's what I mean by cultural expectations worn like a dog leash. We kind of live up to it.
That's a great line.
Thanks, it's in that song.
Right, well, let's play the song and let's chat about it afterwards as well. This is Never Up, and this is Stephen McCafferty. Yeah, there we go. That's a brand new single from my guest sitting next to me with his flowery shirt on.
Aye.
And that is Stephen McCafferty. Sorry, I'm going on about that.
It's all right. No, it's all right. It's like it does provoke.
And but yeah, that's your brand new single, Never Up. So a bit more about that. You recorded the album, which was Monsters and Lullabies. You recorded that at Pincaitlin.
Yes.
Castle Sound.
So Castle Sound do the mastering. So it's all in the same building. Castle Sound has existed for just over 50 years now. Yeah. They were celebrating their 50 years whilst I was in recording it. There's actually a really good documentary on YouTube about it as well, and you don't realise how many big names have actually been through the doors. But they turned about maybe 10, 15 years ago, they turned one of the live rooms into Slate Room, which is what Gary Boyle runs. That's who I recorded the album with. And it's all in the same building. I think it used to be an old primary school a long time ago. And so I recorded it all with Gary Boyle at Slate Room Studio. It all has been mastered by Stuart Hamilton, who runs Castle Sound. And that's going to continue with everything that I've got coming for the next.
So your plans to do all that, so keep it all at Castle Sound.
Yeah, so it makes sense because like with the first collection of songs, it all got reframed into an album, so it makes sense for it all to sound like it's come from the same place. And it's just, I love working with Gary, and it's so convenient for me as well, because it's only 15 minutes down the road. Is if my partner gives me a lift, I have to get the bus otherwise, but which is then like an hour and a half. But so it's very convenient, and as I say, I love working with Gary. We've built up a good relationship now. We actually started working together in my previous band. We did a couple of singles. That's how I met him. And it was the drummer who was the one that made contact as well. So really thankful for that, because it's turned out to be quite a good relationship, and I love the stuff that he does.
You're very much a solo performer, but then when you listen to that, that's a band.
Yeah.
And so you play the guitar. I do a bit of piano as well, don't you?
I do. I mean, it's like it's plinky plonky stuff. It's not nothing. So on the first album, I did have a guy called Pete Nicholson play on Lord Knows I'm Trying, and he's got this amazing flow. And he also did a wee bit on Quiet Dream as well, actually. But I do. I play a bit of piano. Usually when I can't get anyone else to do it, I was like, I have to do it. And my timing is so bad. This is why, and I have to get little stickers out or little tape out to write all the notes down on the piano, so I know where I am, because I get lost otherwise. But I play all the acoustics.
The guitar's your main.
My guitar and vocals are my main. I play all the acoustics. So I usually record about 3 acoustic parts, because I like to texture acoustics. So you're playing the same. your same chords but in different voicings, alt tunings and stuff like that, and usually you get this big warm sound because of it. I play most of the electrics, although sometimes my friend Alan Barber comes in to play that. Dario Ferranti plays bass. On the first record, Jason Reese played drums, but on this record, Sean Ludlow is playing drums.
And these people you know from just touring or playing live?
Previously, Alan has been a pal since we were 17. We met at music college back in Perth a long time ago. Jason Reese I've known for a very long time as well, who played on the first record. Dario and Sean I've met because I was looking for musicians to be part of it. And then on some of the tracks on the last album, Ace Duncan sang as well, and she sang on a few of the tracks. And there will also be more people coming in to all the songs that are going to be coming over the next 2 years.
Yeah, we're going to do a couple of tracks from the album, and I think Ace is singing on both of the two of the tracks I'm going to play.
Aye, Buffalo and I Only Want to Hear Sad Songs. Aye,
that's them. But yeah, so you're doing a lot of that stuff as well, and it's all in the studio.
All in the studio.
Because we were talking earlier about AI music, and you obviously don't like it.
Not at all. Yeah, I don't like it at all.
You're not a fan of it.
No, and some of the arguments that get made is like they say it's allowing people that can't. Well, there was a clip that went viral of a guy who's building AI, and he says like music's not enjoyable. Like no one wants and it's like it just completely misses the point of music. I mean, I started writing songs when I was 10. Yeah. I started playing guitar when I was around 12, 13, and the satisfaction of being able to get something after labouring and really trying so hard to get to learn a chord. So the very first challenge when you're taking up guitar is learning bar chords, and you genuinely think I'll never be able to play a bar chord because your fingers just don't go in that.
That's when I stopped playing the guitar.
Yeah, a lot of people give up then, but and I teach guitar at work as well, and I see bar chords are usually the hurdle that no one wants to jump, but it's such a satisfying experience learning an instrument and getting good at an instrument. And then when it comes to songwriting, I've got songs that take decades to finish. Yeah. And see that it's the most satisfying thing, getting to like 10 years it's taken to finish a song. You've been waiting on this chorus just to find a home, and then you're like, that's it. There's nothing better. And I feel like AI music is just it's stripping away the whole pursuit of creativity, the whole endeavour. It's like to get good at something is important, and if you're not getting an opportunity to get good at it if you're just putting in prompts.
Yeah, but you're hearing it more and more now, aren't you?
Yeah.
In songs.
Aye, and I also not just in songs, in the artwork that people are producing as well, like
videos.
Like one of the things I've just noticed recently is so there's these sites that you can use like Groover and Submit Hub and MusioSoup to find bloggers and find reviewers and stuff like that. And there's a lot of, and when you're looking for people to review your music, there's a lot of them you can tell have been written by AI. Or when you go into their Instagram page, every bit of artwork is AI, and it's so easy to tell, and it just looks sick. And I don't mean that in the positive way from the 90s. It just looks sickly. Yeah. I don't like it.
Yeah. So everything you do is you.
Everything I do is me,
in the studio with a few friends and everything else. So that's clear. We'll be clear on that. And I think I touched a nerve there at some point.
No, not at all. Obviously we're in groups online with other musicians and stuff like that, and no one likes it. No. We have these conversations all the time. Like I mentioned Rory Campbell, me and him have like hours of voice notes back and forth, and a good percentage of that is lamenting AI and just the destruction that it's doing.
Well, I'm going to come to you about how you write songs in a minute, but what we're going to do, we're going to play your previous single, To Never Up, called Debt Collectors, and it isn't actually about debt collectors, is it? Well,
I suppose it's it can be, it is, if that's how you're interpreting it. So if people want to interpret it that way, it is about that. But for me, I'm referring to a kind of psychological debt. Yeah. So, and again, it touches with what the Never Up was about as well, where we kind of live up, we perform identities, we can live inauthentically based on how we think we should be because of social groups, because of friend groups, because of where you grew up, because of the class that you might find yourself in. You can end up living up to an ideal that doesn't actually resonate with who you actually are. And I think the longer you go through your life living in that kind of inauthentic way, it can be quite jarring when you eventually do confront yourself and realise who you are. And the debt collectors that I'm referring to is kind of a symbolic, metaphorical debt collectors, where, you know, they're coming to confront you for the lie that you've been living. Not even that you're intentionally living a lie. It's like, because we do, as I said with Never Up, we do find ourselves culturally conditioned, and we don't, to an extent, we don't always realise it. And I think, especially with men, you can see a lot of posturing when you grow up in these kind of small towns where there's always a threat of violence. Yeah. You live up to this value system that might not actually be akin to who you are. Yeah. And then,
so you've been in Preston Pans then, yeah?
I grew up in a wee place called Glenrothes. It's very much like Preston Pans. Glenrothes regularly gets voted worst town in Scotland. Right. But yeah, always a threat of violence, and usually around bus stops and bus stations.
Same. Yeah. But we're going to do the song, and then I'm going to ask you about your songwriting and how you actually get to write a song like Debt Collectors, right. what we're talking about here. Because when I saw the title, I thought, yeah, it's all about somebody collecting money, but it's clearly not.
No.
Well, you can make it what you want.
Exactly, yeah.
But the way you've explained it, it's not quite...
I think it's always, I always find it difficult explaining the song, because I always feel like I've said everything that I want to say on it within the lyric. And I always feel like when I'm trying to explain it, it almost weakens the song. And so it is a case of like, it should be...
It doesn't weaken this song.
Well, I'm glad so, but I feel that way though. I feel like it's open to interpretation. I have my own, and I don't always, but I don't always know, and very rarely do I know when I've started writing the song what this is going to be about. But because it's coming from my experiences, it's ultimately coming from how I feel about things. And then after the song's finished is usually when you're like, that's what that was about. Okay, you find out.
We're going to get into that. Right, let's play Debt Collectors from Stephen McCafferty. Here we go. Yeah, welcome back, and this is Colin Torley. This is Radio Saltire, Saturday morning show, and I have my guest and singer-songwriter Stephen McCafferty.
Hello again.
Hello again. I'm not going to mention... I've got to mention the show. And we were just chatting about these were your last two singles. Now we're going to go into a little bit about your album Monsters and Lullabies.
Okay.
But first of all, you're a singer-songwriter.
I am, yeah.
So when you do live, do you do covers as well? Or is it
I do throw them in from time to time.
Yeah.
The covers I typically do would be, I do Ashes to Ashes by David Bowie. I do... Oh, did you? Oh, nice. I do Disco 2000. The Turtles... What's the song?
Should You Rather Be With Me? Or
no. Eleanor. I do that. Yeah, I've got a wee wheelhouse of covers that I throw in every now and then if it merits.
Yeah, but primarily you're a singer.
If I could. I mean, I just did a competition at Cairns Bar for Bellhaven Untapped, and a lot of the people that are playing there played covers, and I mean, if I can, I'll just be playing originals as much as I have the opportunity to do so.
Because singer-songwriter or writing songs is a bit of an art, and I mean, I've never written a song in my life.
Yeah.
You know, I've played music all my life, played in bands, everything else, still doing discos, and I've never written a song. I wouldn't even know where to start, but you are a certain way of doing it, so you tell me how you do it.
Yeah, so as I said, I have been writing for a very long time, so since I was 10 years old, and the way that I think is probably the most intuitive way of writing, and you do hear of other songwriters doing this as well, forever. Like,
would you say Paul McCartney?
Paul McCartney did it this way. I'm sure Paul McCartney has a lot of ways of writing songs, but this is one way that he did it as well. And it's basically just playing some chords, and he did it on the piano too, and I do it on guitar.
Do you just mix the chords up then, is that?
Yeah, so once you've been playing for long enough, you're not really thinking about what you're playing. It's... picking up a guitar and just strumming away, you're not really thinking too much about it if you've been playing for a long time. And it's just going over 3 or 4 chords, and then till you find something that just... And as I say, you could play the same chord that you've played 1,000 times before, but on this particular day that chord sounds slightly different, and it's maybe the way you've strummed it, maybe the way you've picked it, but it sparks something off, and you just keep going round in a kind of mantra-esque way, and then it's quite similar to, so in meditation, you're doing this kind of mindful meditation where you're concentrating on your breath, but all of a sudden these thoughts start popping up from things that why am I thinking about that? You know, so this is 10 years ago. The same thing happens when you're writing songs, and you'll be singing gibberish over the top, humming melodies, and then eventually these thoughts will start to kind of fill the space. And then, as I said before, you don't know where these songs are going to go or what they're going to be about, but because they're coming from you, like there's a lot of songwriters right now in Scotland that are writing about rolling with bonny lassies in the heather, drinking whiskey and eating haggis. And if that's Nathan Evans is, I don't want to say, but if that's your experience of Scotland, then I'm happy for you. But my experience of Scotland isn't that, and presumably for a lot of Scottish people, that's not the experience. And it's like, that stuff kind of leans into kind of Scottish kitsch, where you've got romanticised
shortbread tins,
songs wrapped up in a tartan bow and sold to tourists on the Royal Mail type of thing. That's not the stuff that I'm thinking about when I'm thinking of what I'm going to be writing about. My experiences are very different because maybe, as I say, because I work with homeless men, that my experience is maybe skewed. My experience in Scotland is poverty, addiction, class, alienation, cultural abandonment. So these are the things that are surfacing.
I do want to chat to you about that, but just on the songwriting stuff, do you actually take notes of lyrics, or is it all stored in the head?
I very rarely actually write anything down, because I used to, but I never check them. And the thing that I'm always doing is voice notes. So before voice notes, when I first started, it was tapes. So I had a wee tape recorder, single track tape recorder. I would just do that over the top, and any lines that did come would be on there. Now with voice notes, everything just goes into my phones, and then I put them in a big massive playlist that I listen to on shuffle. And there's like thousands of ideas that after a period of time I forgot I've even done it. And then when I'm listening to these, so recently in interviews I've been saying my process is a kind of short period of inspiration, which I call like a purple patch period, where I'm just generating a lot of ideas. They all get put down. I don't finish anything during this period, because I'm just trying to get everything out, because I feel in this kind of, I'm in that kind of static's not the wrong word, but it's this kind of electric period of just generating lots of stuff. That all goes down into my phone. And then when that period ends, which is usually 2 to 3 weeks, I'm actually in one right now. I'm in a period right now where I'm just generating a lot of ideas. That lasts about 2 to 3 weeks. Everything goes onto my phone, into voice notes. That all goes into a massive playlist. The thing that I do after that is a kind of editorial stage, where I'm listening to the songs and I'm hearing something, I'm like, oh, I forgot about doing that. I quite like that actually. And then I'll sit down and I'll actually try to craft the song. And that's probably I enjoy both parts, but as I get older, the editorial parts, I probably favour that part, because it's like working out a puzzle.
Right.
And then it's kind of finishing songs, then doing it that way.
Have you've got a few more songs that you're going to record? You told me you're going to the studio 29th. Is it
29th to finish. They do put the finishing touches on the next single, which is called "Apathy is a Warm Bed on a Monday Morning."
That's a brilliant title.
I hope people remember it, because it's quite a lot to fill. But that's the next one.
And that's all ready to go, ready to record.
Everything, all the next 8 songs are recorded to a degree. They just need finished in terms of the production side of things. But I've got I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of songs, so it's a case of like the songs that. So "Apathy is a Warm Bed," which will be out in September, was written around about 2017, 2018.
Right.
It's changed slightly, so it's quite melancholic now. When I first wrote it, it actually sounded a little bit like "That's Entertainment" by The Jam.
Okay.
Too much so, which is why I kind of changed it. I changed it. But this is what happens to songs as well. You push and pull, and you tear them apart, you put them back together, and you're trying to find out what the way a song should be. So this is why sometimes songs can take a long time.
But do you you've done your album. We're going to do a track from the album. But do you put the album out and then go, wish I'd done this or done that?
Aye. Actually, never up. I I now think that the vocal, I think the level should have been different. I thought the vocal should have been a bit higher, and the track should have been down.
Right.
I just feel like, again, back to the Beatles and Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney drove himself mad on one song. I can't remember what it was, but he was so sure that there was something wrong with it after it was recorded and put out, and he was going to like Ringo and John, and he was like, what is it I'm hearing? And they're like, there's nothing wrong with the track. And that can happen sometimes. You get a bit manic over it. It's like, no, this isn't right. And I did get that with Never. I get it with every track, to be honest. Every track before it's about to release, I'm like, I'm so unsure of this now. And it will happen with the next track. It will happen the track after that, because you just get you get really nervous about it. It's like you're hoping that it resonates in the way that you think it should.
Yeah, because sometimes you do get people who go back and re-record
Aye.
one of the most famous songs, and you think, nah,
Yeah,
I
no.
prefer the original.
Yeah, I do want to do that. I've been speaking recently about doing the first album again, but a stripped back live version, with like.
Just you and the acoustic?
No, not just me and acoustic. So it'll be like me, acoustic piano, and then a few vocalists to help with the harmonies and all that kind of stuff, and maybe a bit of cello, maybe a bit of violin and all that.
Would you record that live playing or live in the studio?
Live in the studio. The good thing about Slate Room is the live room is incredible. Like, so the first album was recorded effectively as a live 3-piece, and yeah, you can just, because the thing is, like, a lot of studios, you'll get a lot of bleed from the drums.
Yeah.
The studio is so acoustically perfect that I can be in my sound booth, me in the vocal booth, playing guitar and singing, and I can use my own personal mixer to turn those drums down to the point I can't even hear them anymore,
right.
Which is just magic. So you can get your own. You can get your own mix to exactly how you want it, and it's such a joy to play live and that. We've not done it with this stuff. This stuff's been more built from the ground up, where I went in with guides that I recorded at home, and we built it up that way.
Okay. Now we're going to do a track from the album, Monsters and Lullabies, and this was the one that was a single. And I think when you came here in October, this was a single at the time. Now, what's I Am a Buffalo about again?
I would say it's about stubbornness. This is one of the songs that I didn't know until I'd finished it. I wrote it during a night shift, which I find hard. We don't actually do them anymore, which I'm happy about. But the thing about doing night shifts is you're kind of in a weird state where you're really tired.
Yeah.
You kind of, which is your brain's a little bit in dream state. You're in wake state. I used to play guitar when I was on night shift, because we've got a few guitars at work, to keep myself awake, to stop myself from falling asleep. And I Am the Buffalo, I had been messing about with just before I left for work that night, and it just kind of fell out. And then after, when I'd finished, it's about, a lot of my songs, Quiet Dream's the same. It's about, so the Quiet Dream for me is the dream of being a musician and doing this full time. That's my quiet dream. That's kind of been my guiding light my whole life. I Am the Buffalo is about recognising that, you know, this might not work out, but you know, you've got, this is what you love doing, so you've got to pursue it. And if it doesn't work out, then at least you gave it a go. Yeah. And the Buffalo,
it's all about not having any regrets then.
I would say so. It's being stubborn to your dream, and not letting anything. So buffalo's like the American buffalo. It's obviously a seasonal path, and it has its roots that it walks every year, and it's very much part of nature. And I would say my nature is to write songs, so I'm following that route, and I'm not giving it up no matter what.
Well, you're doing well, so why would you?
Aye.
So, yeah. Right, anyway, here we go. This is I Am the Buffalo, and this is Stephen McCafferty. Yeah, this is Colin Torley, this is Radio Saltire, it's a Saturday morning show, and I'm here with my guest Stephen McCafferty, singer-songwriter supreme, what we say?
Aye, let's go for it. I'll put that on the poster.
Sounds good, sounds good. But we were just chatting about, because you're not a full-time musical artist yet.
Not yet, no.
I take it that'd be your dream.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What you want to do.
And it's like the deeper I'm getting into it, the more realistic it seems, because I'm actually starting to get paid a decent amount from. Yeah. If I can get more of those types of gigs, then maybe something in the future I could actually go full time. But as it stands, I'm a I'm doing two full-time jobs. I'm doing the work of a full-time musician, but I'm also a full-time support worker for homeless men.
Yeah. And you've been doing that a few years now?
4.5.
4.5 years.
Yeah.
And we were talking about whether it's how rewarding it can be. You're looking after people who are basically just looking for a shelter, sometimes for the night, sometimes it can be longer.
With us, it's longer than a night. So we used to be a case of, we're a rapid access now. We weren't always a rapid access. We used to get people who were presented to the council and they would be referred to us. Now that we're a rapid access, we're working directly with street work who go around looking for people that are sleeping rough.
Yeah.
And then if they can get a room for this person, they'll come to us if we've got an availability for them. And yeah, it can be. I mean, before when it was council folk, the intense days and nights were few and far between. Now that we're a rapid access, you're going to have a few intense encounters weekly.
Right. Okay. And do you do shifts there? You used
to
do shifts. So it's a day shift, night shift, is it?
Day shift. So early shift and back shift, and then we've got a night shift staff as well. 24/7, someone will be available for these guys.
Okay. And is it hard work then, I take it sometimes?
It can be. It can be exhausting emotionally,
Right.
and you do find yourself sometimes with a bit of compassion fatigue, and it can.
And do you find yourself writing songs about any of this?
I think, like I said earlier, these are my experiences, so they're going to find their way into songs, no doubt. I've got a song called Sharp Teeth that will be on this album that's very much about that, but it was written actually before.
Sharp Teeth.
Sharp Teeth. It was before I worked as a support worker for homeless. But I used to be homeless myself, so I was sofa surfing in my late teens, early 20s, and then I found myself in a homeless shelter in 2010. And I was in that shelter for a year before I got a flat, which is totally different to what it is like now, because there's the housing shortage is more pronounced. Yeah. So the guys, where I waited 12 months, the guys are now waiting 3 to 5 years to get a place, which is it's crazy, because I mean, if you're in a homeless shelter for 5 years, you've got no stability for half a decade. Yeah. Because you can't work, because if you're working, you're going to have to pay for your room, and they charge, the council charges like £500 a week.
I was amazed when you said that, because surely the thing you want to do is get them out working, and get them more stable.
Yeah, a lot of the guys don't manage to maintain a home, because a lot of them are so long in the tooth that they've never experienced it. Like I said at the start, that guy who was in his 50s who thought it was posh to have a key to his own house. Yeah. These people are like institutionalised, and the idea of paying bills and maintaining a home is so far removed from their experience that it's virtually impossible. Yeah.
Okay, right, we're going to come away from that now, because you do want to become a professional musician. Yeah. You've got your own promotion company now. Yeah. But that's new then, isn't it?
It's new as of this next rollout. So with the first album, I released the first single in January 2024, and then I released a single every 8 weeks for 20 months, which ended up being 10 singles, which I then repackaged into my debut album. I'm doing exactly the same thing again this time, but this time I'm going to have extra rocket fuel, because I've got a promo company that are going to be with me for the whole 20 months.
That must take a lot of pressure off of you.
I'm not working any less. I'm doing as much, but this is why I think of it as additional rocket fuel. It's like I'm going to give myself the best chance I can by doing the exact same amount of work. I'm actually working harder, I would say, now than I was during the first campaign, but this time with a promo company who do have kind of contacts in a tier above that I can access.
But it's paying dividends, because you are getting more bookings, you're doing a bit more, you're a bit more recognised. I see you doing other radio interviews, you're obviously still recording, so you're doing well. Yeah. When you came in here, you were just finished the album, but you weren't playing as much. But you seem to be, every time I look at it, I said, "Oh, he's playing here, he's playing there." Right? So you've upped your game quite a bit.
I would say so. But again, like I said, that's also off the back of all the applications that I put in last year, and I'm doing that right now, because there's a lot right now. I'm part of this thing called, or I subscribe to this thing called the Unsigned Guide, and they're really good for notifying you when there's things to apply for. And I thought it's dead cheap. I think it's only about maybe a tenner every 3 months or something like that to subscribe to this. And they are really good. It's basically a big contact list. They don't have everything, but they have a lot that you can kind of explore. But as I say, the biggest benefit is they're good for reminding with notifications of when to apply for things. And right now, there's a lot of things that are happening in 2027. I've already got a few things booked as well for 2027. But right now I'm at an application stage where I'm applying for a lot of stuff.
Okay. Now, all the songs from the album, or the debut album, the new songs that we've just played today as well, they're all your songs.
Aye, they're all mine, aye.
And but you're talking about maybe doing some collaborations in the future.
Yeah.
Is that in songwriting or is that just playing?
I've never collaborated with songwriting yet. I wouldn't be adverse to it, but it's such a solitary thing for me that I don't even know. I wouldn't even know how to get into it. Like,
your song, somebody else has got to come in and say, "Nah, don't do that."
No, I wish I think I'll be pretty good at not being too precious about things, but I think it's just finding my way in. Interestingly, and the person that you've had on, Lindsay Strachan, she has spoken about. Because I think she has a songwriters group or something like that.
She does do it in North Bay.
Yeah, and she did mention about me going along to one, and it's something I'd definitely explore, and I would like to experience writing with someone else. But because I've been doing it for so long, since I was 10, it's a long time. I've been 28 years now as a songwriter. I'll let you do the maths. I don't want to.
Yeah, well, I did. I've heard 2 or 3 of them in here in the studio chatting about it as well. And they did an album as a North Berwick singing group. And they were also at Fringe by the Sea down at North Berwick. And they had 12 of them playing on the stage. Yeah. It was a great night. Yeah. It was really good. Some great songs and some great songwriters. So I don't know if that much collaboration went on. I think they were all individual singer-songwriters.
I think
they were good.
The surprising thing is how much talent does exist in Scotland, how many amazing songwriters there are. And it just feels like there's not enough infrastructure to support all these really talented songwriters. But I've come across so many amazing singer-songwriters in the last 3 years since I've been back at it.
Yeah. Look, I'll tell you what, time's killing us, by the way. And what I want to do is I'm going to do my favourite track from the album, which is Digging for Joy. And a great track, by the way.
Thank you.
And we were planning to do another one, but I've just not got the time.
That's all right.
We're just enjoying ourselves too much. So we're going to do that. But before we do that, you've got your own website, haven't you? You've got it StephenMcCafferty.com.
StephenMcCafferty.com. Stephen with a PH. A lot of people assume, even on the Belladrum poster actually, or one of them, they spelt my name with a V.
Did they?
But there was a lot of names on the poster, so I think I'll just try and savour him as the economical version of Stephen.
And then you do a lot on Instagram.
Aye, that's where I mainly am. Right. I do have a Facebook, so I have a link tree. Everything can be found on my website, all the links. I do have a link tree that has access to Facebook, TikTok, but the main place that I am active is Instagram.
Yeah, and you've got your little camera here as well, which you're starting to use now, and you're going to use that as content for YouTube. More
YouTube stuff. So I've started doing YouTube lives, and as I say, I've only done one so far, but I have started, and I'm going to do a lot more of them because of my new favourite toy.
Yeah, it looks good. Osmo 3. But listen, Stephen, thanks very much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, looking forward to the new single. Go and tell me again what it is.
Apathy is a warm bed on a Monday morning.
Brilliant, love it. So you think that'll be ready in September?
Aye, I'm finishing it off this month, and it'll be ready for a September release, if not early October.
Brilliant, brilliant. And you've got 8 songs that you're ready to record.
They're recorded, parts of them are recorded. Everything's at a level that it's just things need to be added and tightened up and all that kind of stuff. But all the songs are written.
Right, very good, man. Okay, doing well. Great to speak to you, but you are doing more live gigs and everything. I'm going to have to come and see you live somewhere.
Well, I've got one in Edinburgh in October, which I'll be playing with Colin and Slow for a Poet. It's at the Waverley Bar. That's October 25, and my next one in Glasgow is September 12th at Nice and Sleazy's, which is a songwriters' night.
I'm going to have to try and look at that Edinburgh one then. Okay, what we're going to do, we're playing out with Digging for Joy. Stephen, thanks again, for coming, talking about your new tracks and your forthcoming tracks. Brilliant, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
I'm sure you're going to do well, mate.
I hope so.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Cheers.